You're lonely. I know, that's a heavy way to start, but let's be honest. You feel this gap between you and everyone else. You feel like you're speaking a slightly different language, or that you're watching the world through a sheet of thick glass. And you tell yourself that you want someone to break that glass. You dream about it. You dream about that person who finally gets you, who sees the mess and stays anyway. But that's a lie. Because think about the last time someone actually got close. Think about the moment someone looked at you, really looked at you, and asked a question that cut a little too deep. What did you do? Did you lean in? Or did you make a joke? Did you start an argument over something stupid? Did you suddenly get too busy to text back? You think you're lonely because nobody understands you. But the brutal reality is that you are lonely because you are actively fighting off anyone who tries. You aren't hiding because you're invisible. You're hiding because being seen feels like being skinned alive. Let's look at the mechanics of this. In psychology, we call this defensive avoidance, but I prefer to think of it as the maze. Imagine your personality is a house. Most people have a front door. You knock, they open it, you have tea. Simple. But you didn't build a front door. You built a maze. You built layers of complexity, irony, sarcasm, and intellectual depth. You made yourself difficult to read. You made yourself a puzzle. Why? Because of a very old, very deep wound called the wound of intimacy. Somewhere along the line, maybe in childhood, maybe in a bad relationship, you learned that your true self wasn't enough to keep people around. You learned that if you were just you, simple, boring, needy, scared you, people would leave. Or worse, they would use your vulnerability against you. So you decided to become the puzzle. If you are a puzzle, people have to work to understand you. And as long as they're working to solve the puzzle, they're not looking at the scared person in the center of the maze. You keep them busy with your complexity, so they never have time to judge your reality. You think this maze is keeping you safe, but it's actually starving you. Here is the turn. Here is the tragedy of your life right now. You are currently testing people. Every time you pull away or get moody or go silent, you are running a secret test. You're thinking, if they really care, they'll chase me. If they really love me, they'll climb over the wall. You think this is romantic. You think it proves their loyalty. It doesn't. It just exhausts them. There is a limit to how long someone will stand outside a locked door before they just walk away. Not because they don't love you, but because you're making it impossible to love you. And here's the kicker. When they finally do walk away, because they're tired, because they're human, you say to yourself, "See, I knew it. Everyone leaves eventually." You use the result of your own self-sabotage as proof that you were right to be afraid. You are creating the exact abandonment you are terrified of. You are driving the car off the cliff just to prove that cars aren't safe. So, how do we dismantle the maze? It's terrifying. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You have to stop being interesting and start being obvious. The next time you feel that urge to shut down or make a sarcastic comment, stop, freeze, and say the thing you are actually feeling. Even if it sounds pathetic, especially if it sounds pathetic. Say, "I'm feeling insecure right now." Say, "I'm afraid you're going to think I'm boring." Say, "I don't know what to say." This is called dropping the mask. When you do this, you lose control. You can't control how they react. They might hurt you. They might not get it. But this is the only way real intimacy happens. Intimacy isn't two puzzles fitting together. It's two people realizing they're both scared of the dark and deciding to sit in it together. You have to risk the rejection to get the connection. There is no other path. You have spent years building that fortress. It's impressive, it's safe, but it's cold in there. Unlock the door, just once. See what happens. You might be surprised to find that the person on the other side isn't holding a weapon. They're just holding a cup of tea, wondering why it took you so long to answer.